Hey everybody, Jason Burmis here. And with only 2 days to go until the Conor McGregor Dustin Poirier rematch, I felt it was really important to revisit all of the information and how the media handled that information that strongly suggests that the man behind me, the man who's promoted by Reebok and the UFC and essentially Disney, ESPN, etc., is a violent rapist. A lot of evidence that the media has come out with that point to that fact. And it's really unfortunate because a lot of that has been suppressed. It's very hard to find certain information on this case, such as the fact that the criminal case was actually shut down now 7 months ago. I actually had to go back, by the way, guys, into my own archives and say, let me type in McGregor and see what I got here, because I've been covering all aspects of this. This isn't a new subject for new people to my channel. But 7 months ago, is the McGregor investigation over? Does money buy justice? And that was the real question, because if you see right there, I actually used one of the cover stories as the thumbnail. That was hard for me to find. In fact, if you saw my previous video on this earlier in the week with John Fitch, we couldn't find it live, right? And I just want to also note that if you think the lawsuit that we're about to talk about, that is about this possible violent rape incident from over 2 years ago, I want to point to the fact that before it was decided that there would be no criminal investigation, this victim refused a $1 million plus payout. That's important. All of this is going to be important, guys. And to this day, I am still disgusted with the media silence on this, the media spin on this, the inability of mainline, sports talking heads, all these, bullshitters, and all these fakers in the Me Too movement, all these people that want to talk about social justice, but don't want to expose the fact that this is not only allowed, but softened, covered up, spun, given the public relations that only billionaire apparatuses can provide, because this man is a tool of allowing several different corrupt systems and media entities to make not millions, not tens of millions, not just hundreds of millions, but probably billions off of him in the long run. That's the reality. And he's not even he's not a billionaire. Think about what actual billionaires get away with. I want you to think about that. That's another thing that's really, really important. Conor McGregor, sure, he's got money, but he doesn't have generational money. He doesn't have royal bloodline money. Hey, Prince Andrew, I'm looking at you. Think about it. So we're going to go through all the evidence. We're going to show you the media spin that continues to go on today. I want to remind everybody, we are fully demonetized. That's fully 100% demonetized on YouTube, probably never being remonetized again in any way, shape, or form. It's very unfortunate. We got the Go Get funding. The link is down below. There are other ways, the PayPal, the crypto. I'll probably add a Venmo address, which is the same as my Twitter. People like to use that. Whatever way you can support the program, guys. I preferred the GoFundMe, but they pulled my last campaign. We can't have it. Thumbs the video up, subscribe, and share. Over 300 people have now unsubscribed in the last couple of days because, let's be honest, they were dying on the hopium, and they just couldn't still come to reality with the dire situation that we are currently in. We're going to be talking about the WHO moving the PCR test, all that stuff some other time. Not in this video. There's a lot going on because, again, it's a microcosm for the corruption of the system. Okay? And I was never, thinking that white hats on message boards and secret societies were going to come to our aid, and I'm sorry. So another great thing and a great way to support me is through Rockfin. In fact, today, if you don't have the free deal, we already kind of previewed what we're going to go over today, but not so much in depth in McGregor. But we also talked about Biden. We talked about the election. We talked about some things we can't talk about on YouTube for free. None of that is coming over to YouTube today. So if you are one of the 10,000 plus followers, those just made a free account, you can go watch that video right now. And yesterday's, is yesterday's an exclusive? No, but 2 days ago, the Carlin one, also an exclusive, still free. So there's plenty of exclusive free content over there. If you're not moved over to Rockfin yet, what are you doing? Get over there, because if they pull me from this platform, that's where I'm going to be. Rockfin. Remember, I'm a documentary filmmaker. All the documentary films are free of charge and available in the playlist section right here, right now. Loose Change, Final Cut, Fabled Enemies, Invisible Empire, A New World Order Defined, and of course, Shade the Motion Picture. I want to say this. Thank you. Thank you, Odyssey. They have backed up my entire channel. If I do get cancel cultured, my entire YouTube channel has now been backed up on Odyssey. They're working on live streaming. Shout out to them. Shout out. I'm going to shout you out on Twitter as well. Thank you. All right, let's get into it. So this is how bad the media spin is. Let me read you this headline from the Daily Mail. Daily Mail, again, double-edged sword, right? Lots of propaganda, lots of bullshit planet stories, right? Lots of tabloid-esque stuff, but also a great aggregate for information, and every once in a while, awesome exclusives. Let me show you how pampered this headline is. Conor McGregor vows to fight personal injury lawsuit after two women sue him for millions in Dublin. All right? Now think about that. Where's the word sexual assault? Where's the word rape in there? Where's the word violent rape? Those phrases and words aren't in there. So wait, they're surely in the subheadlines, right? Right? Two women, a mother and daughter, have brought a lawsuit against McGregor. Okay. Nothing about what the lawsuit's about there. Personal injury. The 32-year-old UFC fighter has denied all wrongdoing following the news. Irish police previously investigated the allegations but took no further action. Okay. The nature of the allegations against him cannot be disclosed for legal reasons. Really? Legal reasons, Daily Mail. This is nuts. Again, everybody knows what it is. It's so soft and disgusting. It makes me want to, puke. I mean, at least here's the New York Times article. We're going to read the New York Times article because at least this one has got a little bit more teeth. And by the way, if anybody can find me the filed lawsuit, I would love to go over the entire thing on air. We'll go over the entire lawsuit because who knows where the mainstream is at. Okay? Conor McGregor, the Ultimate Fighting Championship star, has been sued in Ireland by a woman who accused him of raping her in a hotel penthouse in 2018. At least here, the headline, okay, is stronger, okay, because, it talks about the criminal case ending, which we covered here, which was whispered, and just tragic in my opinion, because, again, this woman had already said she doesn't want money. But we told you, in Ireland, and we'll go over it again, only about 8% of actual cases get convictions when we're talking about rape, and they can go over years. People would be like, we know about this. Here we are 2+ years later, and the lawsuit's just starting. 2+ years. Okay? Thumbs this video up if you are for actual truth, and you don't just believe in ideologues, and you don't like, McGregor, I love watching him fight. Gross. Gross, especially if you know this to be true. Shame on you. The suit was filed on Monday after the Irish police and prosecutors declined to pursue charges against McGregor, whom they had investigated for more than a year, at one point arresting and questioning him. All stuff we went over, and people were denying that he had actually been arrested and questioned. Said it wasn't him I had trolls everywhere The thumbs down on these videos were massive back in the day. Massive. That's when you know there's a campaign and a lot of denial. Okay? Karen L. Kessler, a spokeswoman for McGregor, one of the biggest draws in mixed martial arts, said in a statement that the allegations against McGregor were categorically rejected and that McGregor is confident that justice will prevail in the civil case. I want to puke. I want to puke, guys. Think about that, because we're going to go over some hardcore shit. I mean, come on. This is exactly how it goes down. 2+ years later. So apparently, even the stuff that I was going over in, when was it, 7 months ago, was still speculation. And they're saying that prosecutors declined the criminal charges on around Monday. That's bizarre. Again, I don't want to speculate one way or another, but we were reporting that they weren't going to file charges all the way back 7 months ago. A lawyer for the woman declined to comment on the details of the case. The New York Times does not typically identify people who have claimed to be victims of sexual violence. Irish prosecutors also declined to comment, and the police, without naming McGregor, said only they referred the case to prosecutors. See, this is how it works, too. So the police do their job, essentially, as we're going to show you. So some police sources said some pretty hardcore things. Okay? Some pretty hardcore things. And yet, the prosecutors didn't want to. You ever hear of Jeffrey Epstein? How that worked out? Huh. I mean, because, you want to talk about the Miami cases, but I'm pretty sure Maria Farmer went to the FBI and NYPD in 1996. You see how that works? McGregor is scheduled to fight this weekend for the first time in about a year, headlining a 155-pound bout against Dustin Poirier in Abu Dhabi. That will be the UFC's first pay-per-view showcase of 2021. McGregor, though he is still perhaps the biggest star in the sport, has fought just twice in the UFC in the last 4 years. He also boxed against Mayweather in 2017. Okay? Online records from Ireland's High Court confirm the woman filed the lawsuit against McGregor and another man this month. They contain no other details. But the New York Times, so I guess there's another man in this, so that's interesting. You gotta wonder who else is being named in this. But the New York Times obtained the statement of the claim filed by a woman in the case, which lays out the first time her description of what happened. So I can't wait to see this. I'd love to see this filed case. If anybody can find it, let's get it. McGregor and the woman grew up in the same area and previously socialized in the same wider circles, according to the statement of the claim. In the early hours of December 9th, 2018, after exchanging what the lawsuit called flirtatious messages on Instagram with McGregor, the woman and a friend were picked up by McGregor's driver and taken to a Dublin hotel along with one of McGregor's friends. The woman, who had been at work on a holiday party, believed that she would be partying with McGregor, the lawsuit said. In the car on the way to the hotel, a bag of cocaine was produced, and the woman said she took some. While the penthouse suite, the woman said in the statement of the claim that she was beckoned to the bedroom by McGregor, who asked her to perform a lewd sex act on him. When she refused, McGregor began kissing the woman and removing her clothes over the protestations, the statement said. After she bit and hit McGregor, remember we reported on the biting and hitting a long time ago, he wrapped his arms around her neck and lifted her up 3 times, after which she ceased fighting back. I'm just going to stop here. At least the New York Times is doing this now. It's taken a while. And again, I'm going to show you that a lot more than just this has been out there. It's taken a while. But you got to remember, this guy is a professional MMA fighter in the UFC. And he's got a woman in a chokehold where he lifted her off the ground 3 times. McGregor then told her, "That's how I felt in the octagon. I had to tap myself out 3 times. That's how I felt," the lawsuit said. McGregor raped her, according to the statement of the claim, and demanded she lie in the bed next to him afterwards. The woman fell asleep and woke up in the early evening of December 9th, after which McGregor left the hotel with the woman's work colleague before returning, the lawsuit said. McGregor's friend gave her a drink. Her only memory thereafter is being in a taxi, according to the statement. She said she was later told by the police that McGregor's friend said he had sex with her, but she had no recollection of it and did not consent. Now, I wonder if that's what she said to the police in the very beginning, because remember, she didn't give a statement or name him for days. She was examined in a sexual assault treatment unit at a hospital after her mother called her an ambulance when she arrived home, the lawsuit said. According to the statement, bruising was found on most of her body. I'm stopping because you talk about this stuff for so long, and you talk about justice, and you talk about sometimes how there isn't any in this world. And even right now, when we talk about this, and you look at it, you get a little glimpse with the chokehold and the 3 times. But when you're talking about somebody with bruising over most of their body and had abrasions on her face, neck, and right breast, you have any idea how this guy manhandled this woman? I mean, my God. Like, it is crazy to me. It's just unbelievable how this goes. Let's keep going. A month later, the woman went to the police and reported that she had been raped. Now, listen, the police had already been involved. She just named him a month later. She has not been able to work since May of 2019 and describes a host of psychological and emotional problems because of the alleged attack. I bet. The suit seeks a sum of, 1.79 to 2.13 million. That amount would cover the woman's loss of current future earnings, the sale of her home in the suburb of Dublin, and the purchase of a house elsewhere to escape the reminders of the ordeal, plus various medical expenses. She's not even asking for much. I hope she goes to trial, because they might just pay her off. Okay? They talk about how he was talked about as an Irish sports star. So all these Irish sports star articles that we're going to go over that were out there, okay? I don't even know what to tell you. You decide. You decide what this is. So this is my pinned tweet right now. We're going to just start here. Okay, this was actually, I posted this in December 13th. I did this thread a year later. But this was December of 2018. And this was a police source saying this. At the end of the day, there is no doubt that this young lady suffered a horrendous ordeal. The examinations and all the evidence show that she was raped and very badly assaulted in that penthouse suite. And just to show you, see, there it is. Irish sports star rape victim. Too afraid to give statement. We led with that one because, again, she was in contact with the police from the very beginning. I would love to hear the entire lawsuit. By the way, thumbs this video up, subscribe, and share if you're new to the channel. And if you like truth. And please share this information. It makes me sick that this guy's going to get to fight. And that there weren't criminal charges brought against him for this. This woman's a mother who accused Irish sports star of rape was found battered and bruised. Discussing statements made by others, the statements are hugely detailed and complex and go into minute detail of every aspect on the night of the attack. Okay? Woman allegedly raped by Irish sports star was choked during ordeal. There were clear marks of choking around the woman's neck, and shortly after the incident on Monday morning, she resisted and bit the man in question. You see how we knew that already? She was left with bruising after the alleged attack, while there was also suggestions of bleeding. And now this is where you get to the point where he had been accused of this before, and they're talking to law enforcement officials. Was previously accused of attacking another woman in recent months, so another time in December 8, 2018, at a separate venue somewhere in Ireland. And by the way, not just accused of one other assault, but several prior to that December incident. And now, before that, I never added onto this, but 4 months ago, remember, he was also accused and then never charged of whipping his dick out in front of a married woman and cornering her with his security when he was in town for some charity event with some royalty. You can't make this stuff up. Okay? I mean, wow. Oh, there are reports previous incidents happened, also involving the sports star and members of his entourage, that may also be revisited. Now, back in the day when I was putting this up again, I had no evidence. There was no proof. And slowly but surely things leak out. People see the corruption. She's in a deep state of distress and she is absolutely terrified. She was allegedly beaten viciously during the incident and she is terrified for her life. She is in absolute fear. Part of the problem is the sports star is linked to people who are dangerous. Forensically, the hotel room has been identified and examined by forensic experts. CCTV has been downloaded, and they have spoken to staff. So, by the lawsuit's account, there would be at least 2 other witnesses to this. We got the CCTV before and after what she looks like, right? At least, bare minimum, among other things. You got the forensic examinations. That goes back to the first tweet where all the evidence points to this guy. And she is still too afraid to make a statement. Remember, it wasn't in January is when they picked him up. And then he said it was consensual. It is understood that she is presented in a highly traumatized state with extensive bruising. Although she has been in contact with the police about the alleged rape, she has not made a formal statement. All these people that think she was just in it for the money, give me a break. It makes me sick. Connor tells the police it's consensual. Okay? Again, all about the well-known Irish sports star. And people were trying to tell me it was Rory McIlroy. When you look at these WhatsApp messages, okay? So, anyway, let's talk about what some of these say. Right. So here we go. And by the way, these are between journalists and supposed police sources. And no one talks about these WhatsApp messages. The moment we've been waiting for, the inside track on the McGregor incident. I can't say this is 100% truth, but the source has spoken to one of the detectives working the case. Sunday night, McGregor and his goons are boozing in town somewhere. Don't know which bar exactly. A bird comes up to him and introduces herself and says that her boyfriend is friends with Aaron McGregor's boyfriend, and Connor is giving it the big one in front of his mates and starts saying, would you go out of the way for coming up talking about your boyfriend? Tell you the truth, you're looking for a ride, and his mates are all laughing, and she's like, no, I'm not. And it ends with him telling her he guarantees he'll be riding her later. Later on, the party moves back to the Beacon Hotel in Sandyford, and she comes back to the session with McGregor, is trying it on with your one, and she is like, get off, and she starts getting handsy and physical with her. She ends up slapping him, and he flips and beats her up, and then, let's see, and then holds her down and rapes her. She's on her flower, so he actually rapes her up the ass. She's obviously distraught and goes straight to SATU in Rotunda. So apparently that might be wrong, right? So a lot of this may be wrong. It says in there, again, I'd like to see what the lawsuit says, that the mother calls the hotel and that she stayed there the night over. So maybe it's the next morning. They try to find out what happened. They don't get much info about the night. But the guards in Purse Street and Donnybrook get assigned to it anyway. But then McGregor and his lawyer present themselves at the Black Rock police station the next day looking to give a statement. And the guards in Black Rock are like, why the fuck did you come in here? And told them they don't know. So that's the other thing. Apparently, she still hadn't even named him. And he presented himself with his lawyer the next day on top of all this. Okay? Think about that. Then somewhere over the next few days, it came to their attention that the incident happened in the Beacon, and that's why he came to Black Rock. The girl doesn't know what she wants to do now, whether she wants to go through with the complaint, but she'll have to see. So this is, again, all this stuff leaked before she even filed charges because you're scared shitless. Let's see. This person says he's fucked totally. I saw her 4 days later. She was in bits. So she must have been in a right state after it happened. He didn't use a condom, came inside of her, left her covered in bruises, and she had throat injuries that were consistent with someone in a chokehold, like the one he applied the ring. His DNA was all over. He tried to ride her vaginally and rammed her tampon up her cervix, so she had to have it surgically removed. She did make a statement, as did the other girl who was with her at the hotel. So there you go. I mean, all that stuff is out there. Okay? And, you know, RTE leaked McGregor's name. All this was him. We knew it. 8% of sexual assaults in Ireland get convictions. They had a woman in Parliament thinly veiled that McGregor was doing this. We did a video on that as well. Okay? She turned down over $1 million because of the high level of violence. All right? Period. And now, you know, they got a toy. They got T-shirts. He's got Reebok commercials. Come on. Come on. So there it is, guys. Thumbs the video up, subscribe, and share. We're fully demonetized here. The Go Get funding. There's other ways down below. That's how we do it. $5, $10, $15. Big donors. You mean the world to me. Thank you so much. Make sure you are subscribed. Spreading the information. Spreading the love. I couldn't do it without you guys. So make sure you are letting people know this isn't about left or right. It's about right and wrong. Rockfin. 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 Rockfin right now. You know what I'm saying? Make that free account and go check out the 2 exclusive videos this week that none of them got put up on YouTube. The Carlin video and then today's video. Today's video, 30 plus minutes of exclusive Burmese Brigade action. All the documentaries are free right here, right now. Loose Change, Final Cut, Fabled Enemies, Invisible Empire, A New World Order Defined, and Shade the Motion Picture. And we're over on Odyssey, a.k.a. it used to be LBRY, but this is it. It's fully backed up. Big time, big time. Very happy about it. Love you guys. See ya on the flip side.